Hello, Derbyites. I'm Charles Bright, and we are talking Emmys, and we are talking about the races that make us laugh. No, not guest acting when Margot Martindale can win for 45 seconds. We are talking about the comedy categories. And I am joined by my fellow editors here. I love being in this community of editors. It's so wonderful the way you edit things. Rob Licuria, Marcus Dixon, and Ralph Galvan. It's Galvan, right? Okay, just making sure I pronounce it correctly. Just making sure. I've known you for 3 years. I think I should know how to do this. So we are doing the comedy categories, and we have, unlike drama, where we had the big winner stepping out this year because they're going to be premiering later in the year. Veep has won the past 2 years in a row and is back and is going to be back this year. Going to be premiering in a couple of months. Do we think it's out front to win again, or could something else take it down? Something that's been there before, like Silicon Valley or Blackish, or possibly a new thing like Atlanta? What say you guys?
I think it's an election year, which is also what we said last year, which is why it won. And the
every year's an election year. Just let's
the fact that Hillary lost could help Veep, because Veep has a female president, and although it's questionable whether Julie Louis-Dreyfus's character is still the president, but we haven't seen it yet. So maybe this season sucks, so it will lose, but maybe it'll be fantastic, just like last season was. So it's kind of a question mark right now, but I have it winning.
That's half the problem, right? Because we haven't even seen it yet, and we're already predicting it to win or to be nominated. But what I think will help it is, even if it's not a great season, it'll be in, I think, because some of the shit that we see on social media these days, I see a lot of people say that you would normally see this on Veep, and now it's reality. And reality is crazier than a comedy series. And I think it's now made us even more in tune with how incredible Veep is and how it really skewers politics so beautifully.
Okay.
All right. End of Slugfest.
I have Veep in there just as a default. We'll see how this season goes. Last season was great, and it deserved its acclaim and its Emmy award. But
you're a Veep hater, and you love it.
I'm a Veep hater. I'm just a Veep. I'm more critical than the Veep lovers on here who obsess, like the Parks and Rec people who just think it's completely perfect, which is great, and it's a good show. But I just see things from a more critical standpoint.
Yeah. Ralph, what do you think about Atlanta? Because we were talking about this offline. Do you think it could do the same thing it did at the Globes?
You mean get cursed and not get in, like Mozart in the Jungle or Brooklyn Nine-Nine? Yes, I think it's a complete possibility. But I think, it's also done well at the Guilds, and so I think it's got a better chance than those other guys to make it in there. I don't know if it has enough to win, especially on a popular vote. But yeah, I think it's in there. If Kimmy Schmidt can get in, it's just anything at this point.
It won the Producers Guild Award. It won at the Writers Guild Awards. Like, this is the industry telling us that they love the show. So I think it's in. I don't know if it can win. I guess we'll have to see Veep, how good it is. But I think it's definitely nominated, which means one of the 7 from last year, they're all eligible. So which one of those do we think is out?
So I want to ask a 2-part question to each one of you. What position do we all have Atlanta getting nominated?
Yes.
Okay, so what position do you have Atlanta in? And so that's the first question. So what position do you guys have Atlanta in?
2.
6.
2.
I have it in 4. Okay, so my second question, which nominee from last year do we have getting kicked out?
Good.
Now, I know some of you may have more than one getting kicked out, but which one did you boot out to make room for Atlanta?
Kimmy Schmidt.
I have Master of None.
Kimmy Schmidt
getting out, but then again, I'm starting to rethink that. Master of None won. Writing.
This is probably my at least for right now, my all guts no glory prediction. I kicked out Modern Family.
Oh, Charlie.
Wow.
Charlie.
No, I think that's a good call. In fact, I considered doing the same thing, but I'm just not quite there yet. But Modern Family is on the downswing.
Did it get any writing nomination? I don't think it got any writing nominations last year, or directing nominations. and Julie Bowen fell out last year. I mean,
Right.
that's one of the that was one of the people
It was
who
just
I was convinced was
Tyrell.
going to. She was one of the people who I was convinced was going to just stay in that category until the show went off the air. So I think they're really, the fact that it's just really gone on a downturn in terms of its nomination haul over the past several years. I think that this could be a year where it just gets left by the wayside.
It did only get 4 nominations last year, which was a series low for Modern Family. To compare, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend also got 4 nominations. So that's how kind of far down it went.
Maybe we need to be rethinking this, because Kimmy Schmidt did quite well last year. Like, it certainly seemed to have like evened out. It didn't go down necessarily. I think we need to be considering that maybe Modern Family may miss out, and actually maybe even Transparent, which I would never have said 2 years ago. But people are starting to I've seen a few some commentary, and there was a really great Saturday Night Live skit about this, where Transparent is, we've been saying this all along, it's very much not a comedy series, not even close.
Right.
It doesn't really belong there.
I would say, skipping ahead to supporting actress, Judith Light is definitely getting in. Jeffrey Tambor is definitely getting in. But the show missed SAG Ensemble, which kind of surprised a lot of people. So you're right, it's not safe. I think the only safe ones from last year are Veep, Blackish, and I think just those 2. I wouldn't say anything else is safe.
Yeah,
I would say Silicon Valley, just on, it managed to, even in a lackluster year, the 3rd season wasn't as strong, and Ralph can back me up because we both love that show. The 3rd season wasn't as strong, but it still managed to get in, and Thomas Middleditch broke in as well. And you factor in, it won the Critics' Choice Award for Best Comedy. It was still able to carry off that victory. And I know critics don't vote here, but I still think that there is a lot of goodwill towards the show, showing that white men can still make it in America.
That's a good point. Well, you know what? Apart from my favorite show, Catastrophe, which I know will not make it in, but could get a writing nomination again. To me, at the moment, the one that I'm laughing at the most is Santa Clarita Diet, and I don't even know if that's taken seriously or not. But it does have Drew Barrymore and Timothy Olyphant, and it's on Netflix. So, does that have a chance to break in here, or am I just? Is this all wishful thinking? Because I think it's so wonderful. It's really good.
This is the problem with Netflix. When it came out in January, everyone was so high on the show.
Yeah.
2 or 3 weeks later, no one was talking about it. Not because of the quality of the show isn't good, just because this is the Netflix model. They release everything on one day. It gets huge buzz for a week or 2, and then, oh yeah, Santa Clarita Diet. That was a show. That was a good show. I don't know if it's going to get in. It probably would have got in if the buzz had been closer to April or May.
I think if the buzz had been hotter for the show in terms of the critical buzz, because it was in general positive, but it wasn't like breakout. Holy crap, this is insane. Well, I mean, the show was insane, but like holy, like oh my god,
so good.
Yeah, and from what I've heard from the people who have watched it all the way through is that the first couple of episodes are kind of rough, but once it starts getting its footing, that's when it starts getting in. And the question is whether Emmy voters will stick with it long enough.
Wow. See, I was completely the opposite. I thought the first 3 episodes were really good, and I thought after that it kind of had a pretty substantial downfall in terms of its quality and its writing. I watched the whole thing, and I really love Drew Barrymore. I think she's great. But it didn't click for me. I really like the content. I love horror, and it's like kind of a horror comedy. I really like where it went, and like certain things that it took on, and it was brave, but I just don't think it was one of the 7 best comedies, 6 best comedies out there.
Well, then I think it's probably going to do better in the acting categories, because Drew Barrymore could make it in, and same with Timothy Olyphant. Probably there is where they should be concentrating, and not on this category, which is very hard to break into.
And then there's some new shows like Insecure and Divorce, Fleabag.
I would also put in, it's not a new show, but it's been out for a while, and it's its last season, Girls.
It's getting some buzz,
Yeah, I mean, it's still getting in. It's still getting in the buzz.
NBC has The Good Place with Ted Danson, and then there's a new show produced by Tina Fey called Great News that I think they're going to have to double up episodes in April and May in order to get it eligible. But from what we're hearing, it's going to be a player. So no one's predicting it now because no one's seen it. But I bet you in a month or two we're going to be saying, where did this show come from?
Yeah. So do we have any other thoughts about comedy series?
Only that we've mentioned Blackish, but that post-Trump election episode was really, really good, and I think that will win the writing category. And I think that will help it in this category too. Has anyone seen it? It was really good. It was very well written.
Yeah, it was really good. And Anthony Anderson was great, especially that little monologue that he had. And I think Jane the Virgin should get in. That's all right.
And also, You're the Worst and Difficult People.
Is Big Bang Theory still a contender?
You don't think any animated series should get in for best comedy series? You're the animated.
If they're not submitting it, then I don't think so. I would love to if BoJack Horseman could get in here. Oh my God, I would fly out to LA and canvass door to door to Emmy voters saying, "Watch this now before you do anything else. No, I will not get off your property. Get your hands off me," etc., etc. It's the same thing that happened when I went to Mike Pence's house. So it's all the same from there. So that's a good. So speaking of restraining orders, it's a good way to segue into lead actor in a comedy series. Right now, Jeffrey Tambor has had this category in a lock for 2 years. He has several good episodes this year, including the premiere, the season premiere. But there are several other people who could possibly dethrone him. Does anyone here have him at number 1 right now?
No.
Nope. No, I do not.
Okay, neither do I. Who do we have at number 1?
Donald Glover.
I have Anthony Anderson.
Anthony Anderson.
I think it's those two, right? I think if they really like Atlanta, which the guilds did, then I think Donald Glover has a really good shot. If Blackish rises in nominations, which I think it will, then Anthony may be the front runner. It's tough at this point.
I'd love to see Anthony. In fact, Aziz Ansari as well. But I'd like to see one of those guys win this. That would be so cool.
That would be really cool to see one of them win this. Who did you say, Marcus, you had number 1?
Right now, Donald Glover.
Okay. All right. Other than Donald Glover getting in, do we have any new people getting in? Any other new people?
I don't, but...
Well, I think Timothy Oliphant, I've got him in my last place at the moment because I just want to keep him there as a placeholder because I really believe that could be a possibility. But apart from that, no.
Marcus?
I think he has a better chance of getting eaten by a zombie than he does of getting an Emmy nomination.
Okay, good to know.
Well, just in case, if any zombies come after him, Timothy, you are always welcome to crash at my place. Anything else that happens is on you.
We'll see. It's you can't control.
Yeah.
The heart wants what the heart wants.
All 6 from last year are back, but Will Forte may be the most vulnerable because as I'm a huge Last Man on Earth fan, but no one is talking about that show. It has no buzz right now.
I didn't even know it had another season on.
I didn't either.
If it wasn't for the SAG award, I think I would have been saying William H. Macy would be probably missing out because. Yeah, I know how you feel about Shameless. No, I'm just how I feel about Shameless.
I mean, come on, his SAG win was a shock.
Just a total shocker.
Yeah, I think that was almost an anti-transparent vote.
Yeah.
Well, they flat out just the SAG Awards do love William H. Macy. When he won his first SAG Award for a TV movie he did called Door to Door, the first thing he did was he pulled out his wallet and pulled out his SAG card. He's very big on the union side of things, so that's one of the reasons why they love him so much.
Good point.
He had a good season. There was a big death this year, and he had a lot to do.
There you go.
What about Jim Parsons for Big Bang?
No, I think we're done with the Big Bang Theory.
I don't see it getting back in.
No.
I mean, if it does, it'll be the talk. It'll be the talk of nomination morning of holy crap, it got back in. But and then as always with him, I'd always be wary of him to win. But he's been out for 2 years now, hasn't he?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
And then
That's
there's
pretty
like,
amazing.
Zach
And this would,
Galifianakis
he'd be coming up under the popular vote, so I wouldn't be too wary of him winning. He's won the last times when he's been on an episode submission.
True.
Mhm.
That's true.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Oh,
do
no,
you want to
hold
go
on.
to the actresses? I think the actresses are even more competitive than the actors this year. To be
yes,
honest.
that is exactly what I was going to do. We have Julia Louis-Dreyfus has won this category 5 years in a row. All of them pretty well deserved, in my opinion, but still 5 years in a row. That's unprecedented. And now she's going for Emmy number 6. Do we all have her number 1?
yes.
Hell yes. Hell to the yes.
Yep.
Okay,
won the
so I
SAG.
think we can just skip this category and
Let's
just go
move
on to
on. And it's a shame, even though she is the queen, it is a shame because people like Tracy Ellis Ross and Issa Rae and Sarah Jessica Parker and Constance Wu and
Ellie Kemper, Lily Tomlin.
Ellie Kemper
Minnie
and
Driver.
and there's Drew Barrymore, Lena Dunham, Sharon Horgan. There's so many. Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who was nominated for Critics' Choice. This category is a killer.
Right.
Gina Rodriguez and Caitlin Olsen should be in there.
Kristen Bell.
America Ferrera in Superstore. She's excellent in that.
We're naming everyone that's going to lose to Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Aya Cash, if there was
Kit
any.
Notaro.
Yeah.
Caitlin Olsen and
Ross-
Gina Rodriguez should be in there.
Yeah.
Caitlin Olsen and Gina
You have-
Rodriguez
Ralph,
should be in there.
Ralph, do you actually have her? Ralph, do you have her predicted in the lineup?
My predictions are Julia Dreyfus, Tracy Ellis Ross, Caitlin Olsen for the Mick, Gina Rodriguez, Jane the Virgin, Lily Tomlin, and Ellie Kemper.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
Do you think there is an anti-Julia thing building? Because I have, if there is, I haven't heard it.
No,
I
if
haven't
she just won SAG. She would have
Yeah,
lost
the
SAG
Trump
if there was
thing.
an time.
Agrees with what Charlie said, that each one has been deserving. And I mean, usually I'm so against repeat winners. I really don't like it.
Neither do I.
But for some reason, I don't care that she keeps winning. She really does deserve those trophies.
No, I think she should have lost to Melissa McCarthy that one year for that episode that she had submitted when her father died. And
on the swing. Oh my god,
Yeah.
that was such a good
her
episode.
episode was so much better
Good
than
call.
what Julie Louis submitted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought that was a really tough, and I think I had Melissa McCarthy winning. But do we have anybody? Does anybody else have two ones that I have that are new this year that are first year eligible programming? I have Minnie Driver in for Speechless. I have her in my number 5 slot. Does anybody else have her in there?
No. Okay, that's interesting. I've got to check that out.
And I also have Issa Rae in there for Insecure at my number 6
that.
slot.
I think Issa Rae is actually. I think she's a potential. If there's going to be a threat, it's probably Tracy Ellis Ross. But if you've all seen Insecure, Issa Rae is really, really, really good in that.
I have a wild card in my 6th place. Tracy Ullman for Tracy Ullman
Really?
show.
I was
Oh, that's
just
a good
going to
one.
bring her up.
I just didn't like that new series, but she's.
I didn't like it
Emmy
either,
legendary.
But they love her. And Amy Schumer's not eligible that we know
No.
because she's not
No,
going to
she's
release episodes. So Tracy Ullman will kind of take her slot as the sketch.
It's possible.
That'd be interesting if she did. I mean, and once she does, I mean, with the popular vote system now, especially after we saw Kate McKinnon winning last year, I think all bets are off.
Totally.
Look, guys, you guys really have to watch the Mick and Caitlin Olsen and just go look at the comparisons between her. Always in Synod, It's Always Sunny, and then from what she's doing on there, she is so deserving of an Emmy nomination, and she is so good. And she has an episode that I think that she should win an Emmy for. It's a great episode. It just aired 2 weeks ago, and it's about her disciplining these spoiled brat kids that she's got. She's so incredible in that show. So if you get a chance, you should watch it. I was completely surprised at how good how good it was and what I thought initially, because the previews just don't really look like my show, but it's a great show and she's really good in it. And she's doing a lot of work. I mean, she's doing all the episodes on that and all the episodes on It's Always Sunny, which is Julia's doing 10.
That's true. And you know what? I'm talking about delayed reaction. For me, Ralph, you've been going on about Fresh Off the Boat for years, and I've only really just come to the party. And I think Constance Wu really, really needs to be nominated in this category.
She does.
I really believe that should happen. She's excellent. She's the highlight from that show. And I don't love the show, but I love her in it. And I hope the Emmy voters are watching it because she deserves it.
Well, if we have nothing else to say about lead actress, we're going to move on to supporting actor, which was the first category of the night last year and delivered one of the biggest surprises. And for some people that are here, some of the most welcome surprise when Louis Anderson won for Baskets. I think that was probably the first inclination, the first sign that was given about how this popular votes system was going to affect this.
Didn't we all predict him on here?
I did not.
I did
not. I had Tony Hale.
Oh. Well, I remember all four of us were like his biggest cheerleaders.
We all knew that he was a huge threat, but there was a lot of we weren't sure whether they'd go for that show. But when you look back and you look at what there's nothing like that on TV. He's so good, and this second season he's just as good, if not better. He's got the episode where she swims in the lake in his bikini, and it's just phenomenal. And I wrote about it. Marcus asked me to write for the site about that particular performance, and it was such a pleasure to write about him because he's so good in that. But it's really between him and Alec Baldwin, isn't it?
Right. I think
Alec Baldwin has this on lock, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think there's a chance of the whole Trump impression kind of running I don't know.
You're so wrong. This every time he does Trump, it goes viral. You don't even have to watch SNL. It's going to come through your Facebook feed. You're going to see it on Twitter. Yeah.
I look forward more to Kate McKinnon as Kellyanne Conway and definitely Melissa McCarthy as Sean Spicer than Alec Baldwin's Trump.
I like all of them.
Yeah, you don't have to pick and choose. I think they're all great.
I still have him getting in. I still have him getting nominated, but he is in my 6th place slot.
He's not even a member of the cast. How is this possible? He should be in guest. It's so ridiculous. He's not a member of the cast, and he shouldn't be in supporting. And because of the rules, he's going to take an Emmy away from Louis Anderson or Titus Burgess or Tony. Well, he's won one already. And I don't know. Pick someone else who hasn't won yet.
I find it interesting. I have Titus Burgess. I have Louis Anderson number 1. I have Titus in number 2. Because I love how the first promos that were done for Kimmy Schmidt's 3rd season, we don't see Ellie Kemper at all. It is all Titus making fun of the Lemonade video, which is so wonderful on so many levels.
He got in a SAG too, right? And there's no separate supporting or lead, so it's very rare for a supporting guy to get in. Of course, Ty Burrell does it every year.
And Sean Hayes did it for several years too.
That's right.
But yeah, I think this is the Alec Baldwin Award. No one could have guessed when he was announced back in October that he would be playing Trump, that he would be in this many episodes. I think we thought maybe he would do 2 or 3.
Well, because none of us thought Trump was going to win.
That's true.
Yeah, and I hope he does the White House Correspondents' Dinner. I hope they let him do that. That would be so great.
I'm still trying to get tickets for the Samantha Bee one that's going to be going on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You do
but
that.
Speaking of politics, do we have both Tony Hale and Matt Walsh getting back in?
No.
Just Tony.
No. Just Tony. But I mean, we haven't even seen it. It's insane. Like Timothy Simons might make it in if he's really good.
Oh my God, I would love it if Timothy Simons made it in.
Yeah,
I have a new guy getting in. If they really love Atlanta as much as the Guilds did, then Brian Tyree Henry could just go along for the ride. He's so good on Atlanta. Right. He even has his own episode, dedicated to him toward the end of the season too.
Yeah.
Could we see? Do we think that Andre Braugher is going to return?
Yeah, he just keeps getting nominated.
Yeah.
I think they're done with that show.
But are they done with him? Because again, he's just like
he's like the only one that ever gets nominated from that show.
Yeah, they've never really been. They've never been with that show. There's no way they can be done with the show because they've never been with the show. They've just been with him
constantly. He can just do anything and he gets in. It's bizarre. What about Lawrence Fishburne? He's really good in Blackish, and Blackish is doing so well. Why not nominate him? It's possible.
It can happen.
TJ Miller keeps noosing out from Silicon Valley as well. Like that show, if it goes up in nominations, he could get in. And Jay Duplass from Transparent, I think he's excellent in that show, even though it's not funny. He is, to me, the highlight from that show.
He had some great stuff this season.
Never count out Adam Driver for girls, even though he missed last year. It's the
I
final
was just
season.
about to say him. What about Ty Burrell? Does anybody have Ty Burrell in their predictions?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you'd be silly not to do that.
Yeah.
I do not. So that is my. It's all Modern Family for me. That's my all guts no glory thing. You know,
it's going to get completely skunked. Is that what you're saying?
At least the major categories, yes. At least
very ballsy.
Well, you know me.
You know me.
I'll give you a sneak peek here. It's going to be on my Emmy ballot.
Ty Burrell?
Really?
No, Modern Family in comedy.
It is.
Now, are you just doing? Is that a genuine vote for it, or is this like everything in your life out of spite?
A little of both. Because look, I liked some of the season. What's really interesting is I remember, Marcus, we went to the ABC holiday party, and we were talking to Eric Stonestreet, who was actually like talking to us, which was weird because he hates Marcus and I. But he was talking to us, and he was telling us how much he hates us. He even stepped in our gold derby. Was it our signature at the bottom when we were interviewing him once, and he was like crinkling it. Awful person. He was telling us how much he thought this season was like one of his favorite seasons of the show, which was interesting because I don't think it's that strong, but I still think it's a really good show, and it's still really well written, really well acted, and it's just I think it's just wearing on people. But I think has too broad of appeal to be booted off if there's really no strong competitor to it to knock it off.
Yeah, I think it's.
I have it on there because I like it.
Okay, all right. So we'll put that down for spite then. I think. Do we have any other out of left field nominations for this one?
No.
All right, then we will move on to supporting actress in a comedy series. We do have an opening there because Niecy Nash is that show is no longer on the air. And we had another big surprise in that, where Kate McKinnon became the first cast member of Saturday Night Live to win since they were deemed eligible for the supporting categories. Do you think she's going to win again? Do we think she's going to win again?
She can't lose.
Yeah, she's going to win again.
Okay, Marcus, whenever we say that, they always lose.
I was at dinner with Chris and Tom last night, and I said, I don't think I'm ever going to say something as a lock again. But
we always say that.
Kate McKinnon is a lock. She can't lose this.
Right. Poor Kate McKinnon. She's going to lose now.
Let me tell you something. I do have her at number one, at least for right now. I just love how they find different ways to just use her to play real people. The past couple episodes where she's played Elizabeth Warren, Betsy DeVos, and Jeff Sessions which Attorney General Sessions must love the idea of being played by a young lesbian on Saturday Night Live. That must make his Alabama heart just grow, But I gotta tell you,
Merkel as well. Like, she does so many people.
Right,
exactly.
And that's the reason she's winning. Last year she won because of Hillary Clinton. This year she's winning because of Kellyanne Conway and all of the other ones you just mentioned. She's grown as an actress, and she has all of these viral characters that have come out of this show.
But let me tell you something. I'm very wary of Judith Light.
Yes,
because not only is she is she just great on the show. Every time she is the comedy of that show. Every time she does she says something in Yiddish, I just die laughing. I just can't because it's the idea of her saying, the whole Michigas thing is all like, I just love it. But she also has the finale where it's a knockout episode, because most of the time you're just annoyed with her, but this season you come to understand her a bit more, and she just blows me. And one of our other editors, Tony, when I started watching the season, I was typing to him, "Oh my God, you just can't wait to see the finale with Judith Light." And then we were just like giddy schoolgirls passing notes back to each other, just going, "I know, right? It was so great."
She's so good in that finale. That's probably Judith Light's best performance she's ever given in her whole career.
Wow, that's saying something. Well, she's going to be nominated, but Okay, well, who else?
But Gabby
Anna
may not.
Chlumsky.
Gabby Hoffman.
Gabby may not. She didn't have a lot to do in that
Right.
most recent season of Transparent, so she could move out. We've got people like Rita Moreno in One Day at a Time. She's another one of those women who gets nominated a lot for things that she does, rightly or
She's
wrongly.
been nominated in recent years, though, and she's had a good cache of things that she's been doing. She just hasn't gotten in.
True. I would actually keep a look out for Alison Janney because she's, again, always a threat in Mom. And I also think Molly Shannon from Divorce is really good in that show. And she missed out for other people at the Oscars, so maybe this might be her makeup at the Emmys.
But she gave the best speech at the Spirits, didn't she, Charlie?
Yes, she did. She was so awesome. I was jumping up and down on my bed when she won. I was so happy.
Yeah, she gave her speech, then she left, then she kind of came back, and she's like, superstar. She just had to do it.
Oh, God. Made me so happy.
That's cool.
So other ones that were nominated last year that could come back, we have Anna Chlumsky for Veep and Gabby Hoffman for Transparent. Jane Krakowski missed out last year, correct?
She did, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we think that... Oh, go on.
No, and I was just going to say, and Mayim Bialik was also... She seems to be getting nominated quite a bit, and if anyone from Big Bang Theory will be there, it will probably be her.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have any surprise entries that we think we'll get in this year?
Andrea Martin for the show Great News that I mentioned earlier. It's the new Tina Fey show. Watch for her.
I'm thinking Leslie Jones. I've got her in my last place just for the time.
I do as well.
Oh, do you? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I really think that's a possibility for a second Saturday Night Live person, and if anyone, probably her.
Yeah, Kristen Wiig and Amy Poehler both got nominated in the same year, one year, didn't they?
Yes. They did,
so it would not be out of the question for that to happen.
Jeez, I'd love that. That'd be so cool.
What about you, Ralph? Oh, I'm sorry, Rob.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, Ralph, do you have anybody new breaking into this category?
I don't think so. I think I even still have Julie Bowen in there.
After she got left out last year?
Well, did she? I don't know. I just put her in there. It's kind of a boring category to me, so you guys can take it over.
Okay. So who else? Amy Landecker and Bernadette Peters, and
I would love to see Amy Landecker get in.
Yeah, she's been missing out a few times, unfortunately.
Kristen Schaal for The Last Man on Earth, the show that only I am watching, apparently.
Yeah.
I'm kind of wary of Andrea Martin for Great News because she's also on Difficult People, and oh God, she's so great on Difficult People.
Yeah, I mean, she's really good in that. She's excellent.
I never thought she takes narcissism to an entirely new level on that show, and it's wonderful.
Yeah, I wish that show had more visibility with Emmy voters because it's very funny.
Well, I guess I do have two to inject here. I don't think we have her on our list, but Carla Jimenez from The Mick, also a show. Caitlin Olsen's kind of counterpart. She plays the housekeeper. I mean, I know she'll never get nominated because she's Latina. Same reason Gina Rodriguez isn't nominated because the Emmys have something against Latin anything. So she deserves to get in there, though. And I think, speaking of Jane the Virgin, Yael Groblas is really great again this season, and she's always deserving. She's been on TV Line's Dream Emmy Supporting Actress nominees the last 2 years in a row. She'll probably make it again. She does some incredible stuff. She plays two people on the show. So those I would love to see, but I mean, we're probably going to get the same as last time. I think Marcus, I have Kate McKinnon as my number one spot right now too, even though I would love to see Judith Light win more for Who's the Boss than for Transparent.
I don't think that show's eligible.
No,
well, it's a makeup Emmy.
But hey, that's a mindset that could prevail. And if enough people are like, yeah, I really like Kate McKinnon, but damn, Judith Light, and then they think, oh, and she was also great in this, that kind of thing in a popular vote, who knows?
Can't you see the backstage photo of Kate and Alec both holding their Emmys? I can just see that in my head.
I want to see him doing it as Trump and her as Kellyanne Conway.
If they don't ask them to present Emmy producers, you guys are crazy. You have to have Kate and Alec on that stage in costume, preferably.
And her holding the Emmy going, what the people really want to know is if Hillary Clinton talked about this Emmy in her deleted emails.
Yeah. Please, that's what she needs to do. That would be gold. You know, guys, we were talking about earlier how there are comments, people making comments on YouTube, and H. Bergfeld1 is saying, which I love, that he or she thinks that Catastrophe will get in because of Carrie Fisher and her recent tragic death. She's in that show. She's probably eligible in the guest category, but it certainly could give that show more of a spotlight. So I just wanted to raise that because that is my favorite show on TV. Anyway.
They premiered the 3rd season, correct?
Yes, in the UK, and it will premiere on Amazon right before the eligibility period ends.
Okay, so that's what they'll be nominated for if anyone gets
it. And if Catastrophe gets nominated, Rob will fly to the US just like Charlie would have, and he will go to Mike Pence's house and he will petition for it to win Best Comedy
I
Series.
will. I totally will. I'm putting that out. No, but I will, and I will be. Yeah, that'll make America great again if they could do that.
It was actually interesting. My whole family watched Catastrophe over the Christmas break, and because we were just hanging out and we watched and we flew through the 1st season, got through half of the 2nd season. We loved it.
It's so easy to watch.
It's a good show.
Yeah. So, any other thoughts about this year's comedy series, comedy lineup this year?
Yeah, I think Emmy should stop being racist, and Gina Rodriguez should get in there for Best Comedy Actress. And then I think that Caitlin Olsen, you should be paying attention to her work for The Mick because she deserves to be in there in the same category as well.
I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna watch the Mick. I'm a huge Caitlin Olsen fan.
She's been doing great work for over 10 years.
She has.
I think, I think they should be a little less racist as well. Nominate Constance Wu. It'd be nice to see an Asian person nominated for once. And let's just see. Diversity means a whole bunch of things, doesn't it? That's my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong.
Definitely. I mean, it would be great to see in the winner's circle. It'd be great to see all these people nominated. It'd be great to see them win. I think it'd be great to see. After a film like Moonlight wins Best Picture, I would love to see someone like Titus Burgess, an out and proud African-American man, win an Emmy for playing an out and proud African-American man, showing that, it's not just a one-note thing. It's not just playing himself. I would love to see that happen. Any other thoughts, guys?
I can't wait. I'm happy to talk about the Emmys again.
Yeah,
and these are sometimes the tensest categories, but they're always presented right away, and that makes like the comedy section, because the comedy section is always first if they continue that, and it's always like you have some of these huge surprises because it always seems to happen in the comedy categories, just come right off the bat. Merritt Weaver, what was it 4 years ago when Merritt Weaver came out of nowhere to win. And last year with Louis Anderson, everything is just fantastic. So, guys, thanks so much for this. Derbyites, get into the prediction center, make your predictions because they affect our odds, and we want to know what you think because you are smart on some levels, and we will make sure that that we have a great Emmy season. So, make your predictions. Take care, everyone. Mad love.